Yes, I'm back. Lighting's a little weird because why is the lighting so weird? But I'm back. Welcome everybody. Welcome Dresden, who's the only person who's probably watching at this point because I know it's been a while, and I'm glad to be back. Back in town. Back in town. I was. Let me fix this. I was out of town, up north at a conference, enjoying things, enjoying people, and had a good time doing that. So, but I told you guys I would come back on Friday. Have you moved your camera? Yeah, no, the lighting's something else. Um, the lighting is my second monitor, which is normally on, is not on, and that's usually casting light. And then I've got a lamp up here that's usually off, and that's on right now. Trying to balance it out. It's going to look a little weird, dude. It's a relaxed stream, so I'm not so worried about the lighting. But yeah, Dresden, glad to see you're watching. Get an angry face for. Stuart's live. That's right, Nico, and you're not first to the stream, right? All right, so it's Open Topic Friday. I told you guys I would be here. Told you guys I was be here, and that's what I did. So we had family movie night. Got home earlier today. Got the kids off the bus. Was nice to do. Get back in the swing of things a little bit. And here's what's awesome. Not just seeing my family that I've been away from most of the week, but it's so quiet in here. It's so quiet in here. You know why? And it's quiet in here. My son's over there on the couch watching Minecraft videos or whatever. I got a mini split installed today, and it's cool in this room for the first time since winter. Let me tell you about it. All right, where I stream, it's a bonus room over the garage. It's found in my man cave or whatever, and because it's a bonus room, and it's not connected to the rest of the HVAC system. It's not part of the central air in the house. So in the past, they had baseboard heating installed and a window AC unit. And in the past, that's what I've used. I've stopped using the baseboard just because it's so inefficient. I just bring in a space heater and set it over here. And then I've got a window unit. And the window unit was dying. It was dying so bad that I was worried actually I was going to have this happen midstream. But about once every 2 weeks or so, the compressor on the window unit would try to kick on. And window unit trying to kick on, and it would overload the circuit breaker. Circuit breaker would kick out, and it would just pop it. And I'd be in the middle of work. No, every time it happened, I was in the middle of work. So of course, one time it happened in the middle of a conference call. No, that was I was a legitimate power outage actually, but it was never at a convenient time, and I figured it was going to happen here. But now it's on its own separate breaker. This house, this room is 69 degrees. It is never this cold in this room at this time of year, but now it is, and it will be forever. So we all came up, and I didn't have to hear complaints about how hot it was up here for family movie night, and we watched Short Circuit. If any of you guys have watched that movie, if show your age and know who Johnny Five is, we watched Short Circuit. Kids had a blast. My daughter was afraid that Johnny Five was going to get blown up and died, but he didn't. Well, he did get. No, he didn't get blown up. He didn't get blown up. So anyway, so it's been a good day. Had a good week. Had a great week. Out on the town, major city up north, and it's good. It's good. So, Dresden, welcome to the show. Glad to have you here. Nico, good to have you here. Nernaeth, good to have you here. My wife is watching on the Facebook side, asking for a cat. She wants a kitten. We already have 2 cats So we do not need another one. So the answer is yes. No disassemble. Johnny Five's the best. Johnny Five's the best. So we were looking at movies, upcoming movies, especially with October around the corner. So um, Ghostbusters is on the list. Obviously, Short Circuit 2 is a contender, and some other movies that we were thinking. So that'll be good. That'll be good. And now wife is questioning the authority, which if you had to ask, if you even had to ask, Wally's older sibling, Wally's better sibling. No, I'm not the cat. Oh, it's what my parents did when they wanted to cut down on our playthings. Disassemble. Oh, Michael coming in. What about the Reds? Okay. All things considered. All things considered. I've had a great week. However, Notre Dame 0-2. Cincinnati eliminated from the playoffs. I still love my teams. I'm loyal to them. I might be angry. Can't wait. I can be angry all day, but be angry all day, but no. So no, trade 2 old toys for 2 new ones. Yeah. Yeah, we've thought about doing that, and to a degree, we've done some recent purging of the toy boxes just to clean up their playroom. So that was good. What type of the iconic hat? It's up there. It's up there when I normally keep it. I figure I'd keep the Flawed Man hat on and continue to wear it because my wife gave it to me. It's a great thing. I want it to be a central part of the show. But go a little bit, keep Friday kind of the casual Friday. So whatever, wear whatever. And yeah. So no, the hat's still there. Nothing's going on with it. It will be back in action with me on Monday. And looking forward to the week. We're going to try to get the other Paul on here to finally have that show that we've had. The other one that I'm thinking of, the other gentleman I've been reaching out to recently, let's see, who's the gentleman? Chris with All Things Theology. He recently had a one-on-one conversation with some really weird person posing as a Christian named Joe Lumen. She is a fight the pay. She is just wildly deconstructed and uses the name and the idea of Jesus just to forward her own political beliefs. She's a very spiritually broken human being, and he brought her on and was talking to her about women pastors and stuff like that, and she was just going a little nuts on there. And he took clips from it. He got her permission to have the stream, put the stream on his podcast, put it on YouTube, and use the clips from the YouTube video, put them on Twitter, and she had a fit about it. But anyway, I've asked him to come on, just talk about his show a little bit, and talk about the interview, maybe some other things. So that would be good. That would be good. And he hasn't responded. So we'll see if I push that one anymore. Dresden, Short Circuit or The Mighty Ducks or Home Alone for the best family movie. Love Mighty Ducks. Home Alone, we did that last year, I think. Hook with Robin Williams. That's a big one for me. Bangarang. That is we were actually looking at that. But here's the thing. Kids haven't seen Peter Pan yet. So they don't know. They won't really get it. They've seen, like, they've read some of the, like, the Disney abridged Um, books that you read, like the 5-minute stories you read the kids. They've read a little bit of that. Never really shown much interest in it. But before we do Hook, they're going to have to watch Peter Pan because they're not going to understand context. I mean, Hook was awesome. It was awesome. I loved Hook. I remember, and that was another movie I saw in the theaters. Why do you want your kids to be uncultured? This one, they've seen a lot of the old Disney movies back when Disney was, putting out relatively wholesome content. No, we might take a plane ride to Martha's Vineyard, Nico. Make them read it. It's coming. It's coming. Like I said, Hook's on the horizon, and that's not happening until we do Peter Pan. So Peter Pan's gonna happen soon. But they've done Cinderella, Snow White, Sleeping Beauty, Robin Hood. Robin Hood, and somebody put this on Twitter the other day. Robin Hood is a unsung, great Disney movie. Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, they did that one. We've done that one. Cool one that I found last year around. Let's see. Sergeant Stubby. Found this one. I remember seeing it a few years ago when it came out. Sergeant Stubby. It's about a war dog in World War One. Cartoon, kind of animated cartoon thing. That was pretty good. That's a more recent movie that's, got some history behind it. It's pretty cool. Herbie and the Love Bug. Yes, that's on the list. Men in Tights is great. Men in Tights is going to be a few years before they see that one. But the Disney one with the where they're all the animals, the Disney animals. That's the one I'm talking about. Men in Tights is awesome. That was when I thought that because when Mel Brooks comes out and talks about circumcision, I thought that meant that circumcision was castration. Ghibli fan. What is Ghibli? What am I missing here? That looks familiar. I got to navigate all the links that my wife is sending me about cats. No Tropic Thunder. Look, I mean, these are movies that we'll probably watch once they're much older. I would love for this. I was talking to my son about this earlier. I told him, I was like, look, this thing is going to go on as long as it can, this family movie night thing. And if you guys want to continue doing that and coming over to the house after y'all have gotten out of high school and, you're out on your own or whatever, and you want to come back and keep this up, I'll do it. I'll do it as long as forever. I'll do it when we're bringing over their kids. I will do it this long because I love doing it because it shares movies with them when otherwise they would be sticking their face in technology. But they're reading a lot too. The kids are reading a ton, and I was taught that was great. So that was good. But Tropic Thunder, yeah, probably not for another 10 years. Then it'll be a classic. It'll be a real classic then. Lupin 3? Lupin 3 the first. I'm going to look that up real quick. What is this? This is anime. You guys are killing me. Bed knobs and broomsticks. Yes, Nernath, man, we are kindred spirits sometimes. Bed knobs and broomsticks. Angela Lansbury. The nights at the end. Oh, so good, so good. Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. They watched that when we were on beach vacation. Actually, that wasn't one that we caught on family movie night, but they did watch that on beach vacation. Let's see. What else? They haven't seen Land Before Time yet. The first one and the only one that I really recognize, first Land Before Time. Um, it's another. Oh, one that I was looking at. This is this is lame. This is just anime. um, Remote. I don't know if any of y'all know that one. I saw that one as a kid. This came out in like '93. This is very like a cheesy kids movie. Remote. It's about remote control toys and stuff like that. Um, Toys is a weird one. The one that's another one with Robin Williams. I don't know. That one's that I know nobody brought that up in the chat, but I don't know if any of y'all have seen that. Toys was weird, and I don't know if that's going to be on the list. This is really creepy. Like it's kind of a good movie. It's kind of an enjoyable movie, but it's kind of creepy. The Labyrinth. Um, it's a lot of David Bowie. That's a lot of David Bowie. It's still a little weird, but I love it. Wallace and Gromit. We haven't done Wallace and Gromit. We did do Chicken Run though, because that's basically Wallace and Gromit with Mel Gibson. Mel Gibson's awesome. No, not the new Little Mermaid. We did. I don't like a lot of these live action remixes are dumb. So even if it wasn't, there wasn't a whole bunch of hullabaloo about it. No. We did watch The Little Mermaid though. Up. Babes in Toyland. I haven't seen that one yet. I want to get when they're both like mid teenagers or late teenagers. I want to do like hit like a lot of the classics, like Casablanca, because some of these movies I haven't seen yet. Look. What is it? Austin Powers is on net. All three Austin Powers movies are on Netflix right now. I would love to go through those, but they're not going to get it. And there's some of that humor's too. There's a lot of adult humor in that. You know. And the interesting thing was, my son came up, and this is what started my conversation with him on family movie night was he came up and he wanted to show me a song that he had just added to his playlist. His playlist is on Amazon. It's on our account. So anything he puts on his playlist, I can see. But he comes up and talks about it because he loves listening to music. And let's see. Yeah. Cradles was the song by Suburban, was what he brought up. And that song it's catchy. I get it. I told him, I was like, look, this has got a really cool melody to it. It's got stuck in his head. He was listening to it. It was on some clip that somebody on a Minecraft video was using as an overlay song for their thing. But I was like, when you listen to the lyrics, it's not something for kids, and you can't be listening to the song. And I talked to him about what subliminal messages are, and just listening to something and how things that aren't wholesome can put you in a bad headspace, especially as a young and influential kid who's very intelligent and is growing at a daily rate. That's why we try to shelter our kids away from a lot of the stuff that's more adult themes. So it is what it is. But I was sad for him because I know it is a very catchy tune. It's a very catchy tune, but he can't listen to it. I hate taking that stuff away, and it's stupid that they did that. I've never been Abbott and Costello is not something I've ever been much into, but I haven't really sought it out either. So I haven't really sat down and been like, do I like this or not? Sad about Stuart Little. Like, I hated Stuart Little as a kid because that's what everybody called me, which was kind of ironic because I was generally the tallest kid in every single class I was in until middle school. But yeah, Stuart Little's a good one. One we did watch was Mouse Hunt with Nathan Lane and Christopher Walken. That was awesome. That movie was awesome. BFG. I never saw the original. I haven't seen any of the BFGs. Dresden. That's a good idea though. Big Friendly Giant. That's a real good one. Pete's Dragon is one that they haven't seen yet that I'd like for them to see. 2009 Jack and the Beanstalk with Gilbert Gottfried was funny. I don't even remember hearing about that one. I don't think. 2009, I had a lot going on, and I was out for a lot of media. So when is the right age for kids to start TikTok? 99. 99 years old. Get out there when you're all wrinkly and yeah. You can do it at 99 years old. TikTok is so stupid. Kids aren't allowed on TikTok. I'm not allowed on TikTok. I'm not allowed on TikTok because I won't let myself go on TikTok because it's stupid. It's stupid. Every once in a while you get a good TikTok video, but there's so much dumb stuff on there. Yeah. Round the World in 80 Days. That's a good one. Flubber is on there too, and is on the list. I think they've already seen. I think we already did the Parent Trap originals. What's the other one? Oh, Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. They've watched Mary Poppins. They've watched The Wizard of Oz. We've done those two. We did the original. I think we talked about this. They did the original Ninja Turtles movie, which means they got to watch the other ones. Got to watch the other ones. Turtles in Time. Turtles in Time is awesome. So that's awesome. Man, came out through a whole lot of stuff. I'll have to actually go through the list. Theories in the Marvelous Land of the Snurgs by E.B. Weick-Smith, or Wick, and the Edith Nesbit's Five Children and It series is great. Redwall series. Those are interesting. My son's doing Dogman right now. Daughter's doing, beginning books, but they just chew through the book these books when they're in the zone, especially when we tell them they could stay up later and watch them. Are you done? I'm talking about you on stream, but remember what I said. If you're going to be up here, you got to be quiet. He's a good kid. I love him to death. So yeah, that'll be interesting. Maybe we will have a stream where we talk about no horror movies. No. My daughter can't stand any type of stuff like that. She barely, she's afraid of anything happening to anybody in a movie. Immediately, it's just calm down, girl. JRR. Oh, so the Snurgs is an old one. And so is Nesbit. Okay, so that's some old stuff. You can't hear him. No, you can't hear him. He was being quiet. He was dancing. Trying to be a distraction. He knows we're talking about him. He can hear me. But y'all can't hear him. So yeah. All right. Well, one of the things I did want to talk about, since even though it's an open topic and we've been talking about kids movies, one of the things I wanted to talk about was the Martha's Vineyard thing. Because I know that you guys have some opinions on this. So while I was gone, if they can read Narnia, they're not interested in Narnia. I think my daughter will. I think my daughter will be interested in Narnia. Um, my son hasn't gotten there yet. That was one of the things. It's like, look, I don't know what your preferences in reading is going to be. I've got Warhammer books right here that he might be into. Maybe one day he seeks out um, Lord of the Rings. I didn't read Lord of the Rings until I was in my 20s, and I am a huge Tolkien fan. After that was phew, the movie with pregnant Arnie. What you talk about, Juno? um, it's tough getting kids into the way that older books are written. Um, oh, I know what you're talking. Mr. Mom or whatever. Best Arnold flick was Jingle All the Way. Jingle All the Way is good. I saw that one in theaters. Last Action Hero I didn't see. I haven't seen the whole thing all the way through. Last Action Hero was another one for that kids could watch. What's the other one? Kindergarten Cop. Kindergarten Cop was the other one. That was pretty good. Suburban Commando. That's Hulk Hogan, not Arnold, but they're right down there. Y'all are taking me off topic. What's y'all's opinions on Martha's Vineyard? I know y'all are typing away about Arnold. Opinions on Martha's Vineyard. All right, so while y'all are typing away either about Arnold or Martha's Vineyard. So the political football, as it were, has been being thrown away. They've been being thrown around around Christian Twitter with the typical leftist approach of, but we need to love our neighbor. And the interesting thing is they use out of context accounts to illustrate their point. One of them was our friend, the pedophile apologist, the Jesuit priest. I can't remember his name. Martin, I think his last name is. Don't really care. He was like, he did the whole Jesus, Mary, and Joseph were refugees. What about them? Like that would have like that mattered. Welcome on board, Blaine. Like that mattered. What I told him was like, who cares about that? Because God wasn't going to let anything get in the way of fulfilling his promise. And they certainly wasn't going to be something like that. But nobody on that plane before they got on it or before they got on it when they were in Texas or Florida, or after they got off of it in Massachusetts. I think it's Massachusetts or wherever up in New England with the Swamp Yankees. At no point was anybody actively trying to kill them or their firstborn child. They're not being hunted. This is the thing. You have the people with the most means in a location where they have cordoned themselves off on an islandish, and expect everybody else to take care of the people that they want taken care of. So I thought it was very interesting, and I think all of us did, what we saw, their reaction. Well, we can't handle that. Why can't you? Y'all can't afford to put them in a hotel. You can't afford to, none of y'all have a place that's big enough to put 50 people. Bullshit. So, And I thought it was really great optics seeing how they would react, and it's continuing to be great optics as the debate goes in, because it's like they keep saying political football. You're using people as pawns. They're not any less pawns when we're encouraging them to come across the border and flood these towns, or when we send them to places where our political enemies are beforehand. This has been happening for a long time. This has been happening for a long time with people from everywhere. And John's correct. They weren't refugees. They went from one Roman province to another. They were being hunted to a degree. They there were there was mass executions because of his coming that happened. But again, why is this not apples and oranges? That's not happening here. Outside the former president's house too, Dresden. Martha Dresden says Martha's Vineyard is funny. The salt must flow. That's incredibly correct. All those people are going to be fine. All those people who landed there are going to be fine. Nernaeth, REMV, Martha's Vineyard. I think it's a great precedent for governors to use the National Guard to relocate migrants. Look, this is me, my political colors showing. If you're a sanctuary city, we should put you to the test, hold you to it, and we can send all of the immigrants there and tell you basically you have a responsibility to keep them there until they're naturalized citizens. Till they can become full citizens, they have to stay there. And when they're found outside of there, transport them back. Right? Feel like that's a lot better place to spend money than sending them getting new IRS agents. So Nico said they got what they deserve, was what I thought. Lol. Though it didn't last a day. Now I feel bad for the people who are just being kicked around like props, so they are in no position to demand. Yeah, which they were going to be anyway, right? They get kicked around all the time. And this is old Republican versus Democrat thing. Old Republicans want, and it's still the consistent neocon position that they want immigrants because they want the cheap labor. That's where a lot of donors are. That's a lot of industry that the donors are coming from. They want that cheap labor, and Democrats want them for the votes because that's their line of thinking, that those immigrants will vote will most likely vote for Democrats. So the Republicans want them for cheap labor. Democrats want them for cheap votes. And so that's why nothing's been done. And the country as a whole has suffered because of it. That's why it's always when nothing gets done on a specific issue because both people are for it, but against how it needs to be done. Democrats want them to become citizens for the votes. Republicans don't want them to become citizens because then they don't have to they can be paid under the table cheaply. Because all that money, a lot of that money for folks coming in from Central and South America, and I don't know what to say if the same is true for people coming from outside outside those continents, but coming from Asia, Europe, whatever. A lot of the money they earn gets shipped right back down there. So it's money leaving our country. So, this all comes back to a very similar thing, where when we talk about Christian nationalism, why it's not that as big of a deal for me about that. I want a nation where we are running on Christian values, but my issue here is a government is supposed to look out for its citizens. It has to maintain a solid border, and it has to maintain an organized, fair, and reasonable immigration system. It's not just open the doors and let every single person in. One of the things that you will find in the Bible is things are supposed that reasonable behavior and good management are things that God sees in or God enjoys seeing in people. When we listen to the parables, and maybe I'm taking this out of context, that could very well be, but we listen to parables or other accounts. It's a person, it's a master giving money or giving responsibility or giving something, titles, whatever, to a few people, not to everybody, right? Same thing. When we talk about Joseph, Joseph didn't just give the food to everybody who wanted it. No, it was properly managed because, boom, there we go. Did anyone see Lightfoot in Chicago stealth busing out migrants to suburbs without warning, like she slammed Abbott for? Yeah, which is the same thing they've been doing forever. They've been stealth busing people, immigrants, into states and communities without telling them all the time. VP is borders are as well. Yeah, I guess. I don't know. If this is not too political, what are your thoughts on the idea that non-Americans do not get constitutional rights? I don't believe um, that non-Americans have constitutional rights. I think there's basic human rights and human decency that we treat people with, but from a legal aspect, you're not a citizen here. Part of the Constitution is people. You got to be part of the nation, and I think, and I'm a big believer that, you know, we are a nation that benefits from um, diversity and culture to a degree. Like if you think of what we are enriched by with from food, which I'm a huge fan of, um, not the Irish, but the Italians. Italians great food here, right? These are just using as examples. Irish, they bring they brought some good whiskey, right? Germans, beer, right? Um, but you know, the idea of America, that side of the culture, the idea in what the Constitution means and what we're supposed to be doing, and that we are a nation together instead of a nation divided. That maybe since the national language has traditionally traditionally been English, maybe learning English is a great is a place to start, so that you can better communicate with your fellow citizens. Um, these are things that I one of the things I think was great about when we saw refugees come over during Korea and Vietnam was how um, how motivated they were to be part of the American system and take advantage of what America, the American dream actually was. This is getting outside of religion or whatnot, but you know, get over here, work hard, build something for yourself, send your kids to school, build community, and what you see with a lot of, like I said, a lot of immigrants from Korea and Vietnam, where it's starting from lowly places. We have fishing tycoons or people who have built very good fishing businesses, very good. And the joke about convenience stores and stuff like that, or whatever. Start a business, work hard, build something for your kids, look out for them, and gatekeep that to a degree. You want to come here? That's great. Understand what part of your culture was not a part of the problem that made you want to leave in the first place. Understand what and leave that at the door. We don't want it. I know you don't want it because that's why you left. We don't want it here either. Bring in the good stuff. Bring in the part that's good. Bring in Italian food. Bring in your whiskey. Bring in your engineering skills. Bring in all your culture of family togetherness. Get you know hard work, the meritocracy, that kind of stuff. We want the people who have put their best foot forward, and a government slammed them down for it for whatever reason, because they spoke out or whatever. But America is supposed to be, in many ways, a meritocracy. So, quick list of darker immigrant before you get canceled. We were talking about Short Circuit earlier, the movie Short Circuit. So I've already covered that. Nico, legit, I have met people here in Cali who believe America or any country can somehow support unlimited amount of refugees. We can't, absolutely can't. And you just look over at Europe to begin with for evidence of that. Dresden, here in the UK, we were getting 1 million a year. Yeah, Britain no longer exists, I think. Queen Elizabeth might be the last monarch that anybody has any type of reverence for. And it's kind of sad, but also I don't really care. It's kind of cool that there has a royal family, but that's y'all's nation. Y'all figure that out. It's whatever. If that's what y'all want, if that's what you don't want, but British culture's just completely. Where is it now? What is British culture now? Personally, not a fan of Charles. Neither am I. Neither am I. He's got a lot of dumb ideas, dumb opinions, but royal family. That's the other thing. A lot of which you'll see a lot of the a lot of the Christian folks who want a Christian monarchy. They want a return of a Christian monarchy. They want monarchy. They think monarchy is more conducive to Christianity. So my question that I posited was, okay, we say in America we get a king. Who do you want to get a king? Because it's going to be a Clinton, a Bush, a Kennedy, or somebody like that. So which political family are you going to get your king from? Would you prefer to have your king from? Why don't it be one of the people? It's like, oh yeah, that would be great, I guess. Assuming, because a lot of people in this country are dumb. But the real reality is we have a political aristocracy. We just don't have a name. We just haven't named it that yet. The haves and the have-nots. A lot of people think the haves and the have-nots is about Wall Street versus Main Street. It's about DC and flyover. DC, New York, California versus flyover country, right? Agree or not, it's weird we can't even have a discussion of proper standards for immigration without being too emotional or being labeled xenophobe or something. Well, that's literally any type of political debate. You're an extremist if you have opinion that's contrary to the other. And I'll say that on right versus left. A lot of times you can be labeled an extremist. I say we make Jesse Ventura king for the memes. I say we make Chris Kyle's wife president for the Jesse Ventura memes. No. If we're going president based off of wrestling, dude, Jesse's not on there. Wait, did Jesse professional wrestle? I know he was a big bodybuilder thing. He's a professional wrestler, wasn't he? Whatever. No. Hulk Hogan, meh. Ric Flair, I would put Ric Flair as Speaker of the House, right? Or Ric Flair as who's the guys who basically Secretary of State, but what's the term for the Secretary of State when it's a monarchy? Can't be John Cena. We'd never see him. John Cena would be a great prince, right? Are you ready to negotiate? 330 million duel. Last man standing is king. Oh man, this would be really good. Okay. Man, I need to get Chaco on this. We need to have a stream about King, who on this is King, because Chaco, Joel Chaco, who I've had on here before, he would be great. He's big into the wrestling scene. No, Nico, why do you say things that you know are going to upset people? And here comes America with the steel sanctions. We're going to be tag team partners with Israel. The Undertaker is king. Undertaker would be king. Or no, take it back. Undertaker, commander in chief. General of oh no, it's Violet. Oh, you look, Nernath, you're old enough to remember Celebrity Deathmatch. That's what I'm thinking in my head right now. That's what's going through my head. Celebrity Deathmatch. Neo Rice said, Nico 2024, please. I consider voting for you depending on who's on the ticket. I don't know who Neo Rice is, but hey, is this a Nico alt? Nico, U.S. rejoining the Empire. I like that. No. We might annex Britain. How about that? Bring Britain into America's empire. I'm just well versed in funny memes. Liar. You're a liar. You know too much about old stuff. Nath, you're probably 40. No, I want the Undertaker to be commander in chief. You're the head general, right? Because look, and this is me showing my age. This is me showing my age. Used to be, Undertaker showed up. Somebody's leaving in the bag. I mean, that was the whole thing. He'd come in, whoop somebody's tail. They put him in. Paul Bearer was his manager. R.I.P. in peace. Paul Bearer would come out. Always woo, woo, with all of his ghoulish makeup on. Undertaker comes out there, beats the snot out of him, puts him in a body bag, and they leave. Right? That would be Undertaker. Show up with the army. Show up with the Navy, show up with the Corps, show up with the Air Force, lay waste, and get out of there. Undertaker never hung around in the ring. He beat him up, and then he got out of there. 40. If you saw a picture of me, you would laugh. I wouldn't laugh. I'd say you were lying, probably. I'd be like, yeah, that's probably your kid. Dresden, have you seen the state of Britain at the moment? You don't want that. I don't. I really don't. I feel like we need to annex Canada to save Canada, though. But we're not even in a state to save ourselves. Catching the Reds game. I'm going to wrap this up so I can start catching the rest of the game. So anyway, but yeah, that was the interesting thing on Martha's Vineyard, I thought, and that spiraled out. I envision, just because it's just the natural state of things, a lot of these open topic things are going to touch on political issues, which is whatever. It's whatever. I don't like it when people bring the Bible in to justify certain politics. There are some things that I think that are as that I think are necessary. I think abortion is a big deal on that. Things that the Bible has an opinion on: abortion, gay marriage, stuff like that. That I think that it is worth noting. But again, at the end of the day, we have our say in it. But our government is really the book, right? Everybody else just lives here. Every day I wake up and wish my ancestors had the balls to move to America. Mine did in 1609. That's how long my ancestors have been here. Jamestown, buddy. So, but I don't mind discussing politics with you guys on on these streams, on these off-topic streams, open topic streams. So, Wolf saved Canada. We lost that one badly. Canada is beyond salvation. It's not looking great. It's not a place landscape wise. I'd love there's some pretty places. It's a pretty place to be. Do you need another John Paul Jones? I don't think anybody. I would never turn away another John Paul Jones. All right. 15 minutes. Been gone all week. Glad I'm catching up with you guys. Glad you guys are still paying attention. I'm gonna wrap the stream up a little bit, or a little bit, like all the way, and then I'm gonna go finish watching the Reds game. I hadn't called Reds game all week. John Paul Jones. Look, I have not yet begun to fight. I have not yet begun to fight. John Paul Jones. John Paul Jones is a John Paul Jones reminds me of kind of outlaw Josie Wales of the Revolutionary War. So, Neo Rice. All right, before I get out of here, Neo Rice, I've seen you chat twice. If you're new, to the stream, welcome. If you're not new to the stream, glad you started chatting. Glad you're tuning in. That's great. Glad to have you here. Please, or if you just came across here because you keyworded into Martha's Vineyard, which may or may not have been a trap to get people to tune in, by all means, come. I stream generally Monday through Friday. Wednesdays are going to be open. That's the new soccer night, but it's probably not going to be too late. So I'm going to try streaming on Wednesdays. So Monday through Friday, generally when I've got time, when it allows. Families first. Oh, okay, can pop in from time to time. I saw you on Nick's stream a while back. Good to know. That was a banner stream for me. That was a buddy of mine doing me a solid coming on there. Asked on there. I still want to bring him back on, and I hope he comes back stronger than ever after this ban. It was that was stupid. But right now he is bouncing off the walls, I think, on Twitter right now because the Texas AG just got some laws. Something happened. Yeah, Nick was on my stream. Yeah. Did I say it the other way around? I meant him coming on my stream and talking. Yeah. Oh, saw me with. Oh, hang on. I pop in from time to time. Saw you with Nick's stream a while back. I haven't been on his stream. My face hasn't been on his stream. The last time I was on, oh, okay. I was on his stream once. It was many years ago, and it was just basically he was doing a Diablo 3 run, and I was hanging out with him. I was in it was just me and him crawling through a dungeon. So my Diablo avatar was on his stream, and maybe some of my chats were on there. I couldn't even tell you what day that was, but it was a few years ago when he was doing it. And I remember it was one of those things where, I fell asleep playing games. I think it was like a Friday night or something like that. You wake up and you're like, ugh! And he's on because he's up that late. So, but Neo, yeah, glad to have you on. Come on whenever you can. Be glad to get your input on things. We'll be back to streaming Monday at 8, but somewhere between 8 and 8:30 when I start normally. I've been pretty consistent on 8 though, where I can. But yeah, glad to see you giving your 2 cents worth in here. Like I said, this stream is this chat is still very small and makes it easy for me to read pretty much everything that comes through. So, all right. With that said, Dresden, Nico, Nernath, my wife, typing in there, Mike. I said Dresden already. I think Blair showed up at one point in here. John Smoth, I think you popped in there as well. Yeah, Blaine, John Smoth, and then you, Neo. Then you, Neo. All you guys, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for being part of the chat. Oh, and Rafter, sending good vibes. Thanks, man. You guys, you have a good night. Have a good weekend. Have a safe weekend. Want to see you all back. Love you. And Monday we're back in business. Good night and God bless.